Welcome everybody out to Snow TV. I'm Ben Butler. Joined alongside me is DJ Harris. We'd like to welcome you out to Richfield, Utah this evening as the round robin tournament continues with the Eastern Wyoming Lancers playing against the Montana Western Bulldogs, and tip-off has just begun, controlled by Montana.
This is going to be a pretty hot matchup tonight. Not a whole lot of fans in the stadium tonight, but they both want to be playing hard and getting in as that shot goes up, no good.
Not a lot of fans, you are right, DJ, but the Lancers take control of the ball for their first offensive possession of the game. And we have a call on the court, and it appears there will be a foul on the Bulldogs, and the Lancers will inbound it. Number 24, Jordan Marriage, guard for the Lancers, will inbound the ball and inbound that to number... Shot attempt by Jovian Elizovic for the Lancers, no good, as he comes down with that rebound defensively, and the Lancers look to push the ball once again.
The interesting fact about the Lancers, they've got two players coming all the way from Serbia to come play basketball for them. So, and look for them to get a lot of playing time tonight with Elizovic and Skoknic, both in the starting lineup.
Yes, and that was Mirich on that last shot for the Lancers as it rimmed out as a shot attempt by the Bulldogs is no good. So we are still tied 0-0 in the first 2 minutes of this game, and there it is.
That was a great defensive play for Montana Western there. Both went up and got that ball, but it seemed as soon as they blocked it, they kind of just turned around and gave up on the play, and that's why that second attempt by number 10 for Eastern Wyoming, Grant Olson, was able to clean that up and put it in.
Yeah, great hustle on Olson on that offensive rebound, getting up there and getting those easy points, getting the Lancers out to a quick 2-0 lead. And we'll have a foul against the Bulldogs, as that will be a turnover of them, and it will be Lancers basketball.
That was on number 33, Bryce Torrey, the freshman from Stevensville, Montana. Most of these players for Montana Western coming from their home state of Montana.
So Grant Olson on the shot attempt for the three, as that bounces above the backboard, but number 24, Jordan Marich, on the rebound and throws it off a Bulldog defender, and so Lancer possession.
I'm seeing a lot of early hustle from the Eastern Wyoming team, and so far their shots haven't been falling, only 2-0, but I think if they keep playing hard like this and getting good shots, they'll start falling for them.
And number 5, Trey Schroefel with the drive, and he is fouled on the attempt, and he will be shooting 2. So Schroefel, point guard, freshman, 5'10", from Buffalo, Wyoming. Taking his first attempt of the game from the free throw line, and that is good. Goes 2 for 2 as the Lancers jump to a 4-0 lead. Shot attempt, and it is good. Number 2, Zacchaeus Starko Kelly for the Bulldogs on the three-point attempt, cutting that lead to 1 point as Olson drives again to the paint and with a left hook and gets it in. That's 2 more quick ones for Olson. He has now have 4 points in today's game thus far.
And that last deep three by, that was actually number 2, Derek Walker, a couple jersey changes on the night. He's already taken 2 deep three-pointers, so I definitely can see a lot of confidence from him on that deep ball. And I think he's going to put a few more of those in on the night.
You're right about that, DJ. Ooh, as Merrick's layup just rolls off of the rim, close to going in, but it will be Bulldogs possession as that shot attempt by Zach Doko Kelly, number 0. And then we got numbers corrected here, DJ. But Kelly is fouled on the shot attempt, and he will be going to the free throw line to shoot 2.
Some good free throw shooting here from both sides early on.
Yeah, you see it a lot, DJ, in basketball as Kelly misses that second attempt.
I jinxed it.
Yeah, as you see it a lot, though, as I was gonna say, free throws will win basketball games. You'll go to the line quite a few times in a game, as those of you who watch basketball know a little bit about basketball. Free throw line and points at the free throw line will win you the game. So those are very crucial free points that you got to make. As the Lancers are working the ball at the top of the key right now, as Olsen at the shot clock does not beat the shot clock, as that will be a shot clock violation against the Lancers. Bulldog possession.
That was a great defensive play by Montana Western, making the right switches and the right calls to really prevent Eastern Wyoming from getting a good shot there.
And we're going to get a reach in on number 5, Schroefel, for the Lancers. And so Casey Ryter for the Bulldogs will inbound it. Bulldogs is looking for any shot attempt that they can find, and that shot is put up and missed and boarded by Marich again. So Lancers ball. Schroefel working the top of the key, rolls to his right, dribble drives, lays it up, and it is no good. Kelly on the rebound. Kelly across half court, passes it up to Ryter as he no good on the shot attempt, and Schroefel with the board again.
Both sides of the court really struggling to just finish their layups, as we see a wide open 3, no good, but layups really just blown easy opportunities. That'll lose you basketball games there. See another 3 by Casey Ryter.
So the ball's not seeming to find the bottom of the net early on, as that is a wild shot put up by the Lancers, but both teams difficulties finding the bottom of the net in the first 5 minutes of this ball game, as we are in a low scoring game. Lancers 6, Bulldogs 4. So the Bulldogs trying to tie this game up at 6 with a 2 or a 3 to lead, and there it is, tie game. Kelly on the shot attempt, and we are all tied up at 6.
Montana Western playing a pretty good zone so far in this game. They got a couple easy buckets, the Lancers got a couple easy buckets early on in the game, as we see Kelly again with a nice shot. But Montana Western really just dialing in on their defense and taking over, and now have taken their first lead of the game.
Yeah, we've seen back-to-back buckets for Kelly now, as that bucket gives them a 2-point lead, as that passes out to number 34. These number change-ups at the beginning of the game are throwing me off, DJ. It's hard to find who's who, but with that 3-point attempt, that gives the Lancers a 1-point lead, 9-8.
As we see, number 12, Derek DeRocher, trying to answer, and yet another 3. That is again number 34. That's number 34. We don't have his name on the roster, but great shooting by number 34 early on in this game. Back-to-back 3-pointers as the Lancers take a 4-point lead. That's Peter Skokniks. We finally found his name. Player from Serbia.
And so back-to-back threes for the Lancers offensive possessions. That was number 31, Jovan Elzovic for the corner 3, as the Lancers are starting to pull away with a 15-8 lead, and we'll get a foul on the shot attempt down in the paint.
And you can see why they brought these players over from Serbia. to play on this team, because we've seen three like you said, back to back 3-pointers from exclusively the Serbian players. And if there's anything European big men are known for, it's they can get out to the 3-point line and take a 3-point shot.
Yes, indeed, and there's a timeout, and when we come back, Bryce Torrey will be shooting free throws for the Bulldogs, and we'll take a timeout. We'll be right back with you here on Snow TV. Welcome back to Snow TV as the Lancers of Eastern Wyoming are taking on the Bulldogs of Montana Western, as Bryce Torrey will be shooting free throws for the Bulldogs to help cut into this 7-point deficit. And the first one is good. And he connects on the second, so 5-point deficit for the Bulldogs. As Schroefel takes it up mid-court for the Lancers, setting up shop. He receives a screen from Olsen. And that is Jovan Elzovic for the Lancers. And on the last possession, Elzovic hit a corner 3 for the Lancers. So Elzovic getting off to a pretty good start early on. Approaching the midpoint of this first half as the Lancers control a 7-point lead. And we'll get a foul against the Lancers, so it'll be Bulldogs possession as they're inbounding it down low.
We're bringing in a couple subs in. It's number 24, Jordan Mirich, and number 50, Tyler Davis for the Lancers. Going to be spelling a couple guys here. A nice attack there. Definitely, as we see early on, number 0 is Zach Darko Kelly, is definitely Montana Western's main offensive option. He has 4 points on the night and is trying to get some more here on the free throw line.
And into the game for the Lancers is number 25, Romero Cornish, freshman from Freeport, Bahamas. Sounds like a pretty nice place to live, DJ.
Must have been quite a shock to come all the way to Wyoming.
That's probably true, as Kelly connects on both of his free throws. As the Lancers swing it to the left, and shot attempt by Walker Corral is good for the 2-pointer. And so we'll have another foul on the Lancers, but before the shot attempt, oh no, they're calling it on the shot attempt. And so number 33, Bryce Torrey, will be back at the free throw line. So 3 straight possessions for the Bulldogs and 3 straight trips to the free throw line. So the Lancers really got to watch their fouls as Torrey misses that free throw, but nonetheless, you don't want to keep sending them to the free throw line and get yourself into the bonus early on, as that 3 is deep by Walker Corral as he drains the 3 from beyond the arc and extends the Lancer lead to double digits, 22-12, as Kelly tries to respond back with a 3 and bricks it off the left side of the rim as the Lancers look to push the ball.
The Lancers are having some great shooting early on in this game. The only hope for the Bulldogs so far is that the Lancers just simply cool off.
So missed shot attempt right there for the Lancers, and Kelly would bring it up. Looking for anything to set up for this Bulldog offense. So Kelly decides to take it for himself. Left-handed layup will not go. Hard shot off the back of the rim as the Lancers look to push again. Corral passes it off to the top of the key. Dribble drive. And there will be a foul on the play as number 34 will be heading to the line. That is number 34, Peter Skoknik, for the Lancers, and he will be at the line to shoot two. So Skoknik having a pretty good game early on in the first 10 minutes of this first half. Couple of three-pointers, about a 15, 20-foot jump shot as he misses that first free throw attempt, and this lead will remain at 10.
Montana brings out number 4, Casey Ryter, who's been pretty good for them on defense down in the middle. So I wonder to see what adjustments they'll make.
So Skoknik misses both shot attempts as there's a scramble for the ball as...
That's unfortunate for the Bulldogs. Just a broken down play leading to a score for the Lancers. Not being able to secure that rebound.
And credit Marich on that play for the Lancers to pick up that loose ball and feed it down low for that quick, easy points. As Jordan Dar's shot attempt for the Bulldogs goes in and out of the rim as Marich spins to the hoop and throws up kind of a wild shot, and it will be Bulldogs possession heading the other way. As into the game for the Lancers, number 1, Daniel Wright subs into the game. So we'll see his first minutes here this evening. Just over 10 to play as Kelly drives to the lane. Easy right-handed layup for Kelly.
Yeah, if I'm Kelly, I'm just going to keep attacking the basket there. He's been successful multiple times. Couple times he wasn't able to get it in, but he's getting easy layup attempts from those drives, so I would keep doing that if I was Zach Kelly.
And Daniel Wright with a wild play just a few seconds ago as he was able to make up for his mistake and save the ball. But as he drives to the paint, he gets called for the offensive foul. Kelly looking for anything, dishes it off to Bryce Torrey for the three-pointer as that rims out as Marich dishes it out, and we will have a foul on the play. It will be a defensive foul, and wait, my correction, it is against the Lancers, probably a shove off. Wait, I stand corrected again. It was a defensive foul, and Marich will be inbounding it for the Lancers. It appeared for a second that they were going to give the ball back to the Bulldogs, but and not Marich on the offensive rebound. Great hustle on his part to get that offensive rebound, to go strong up with the ball, get fouled, and head to the free throw line for a couple of easy points.
I'm seeing a lot of early hustle here from Marich just coming into the game. He was subbed in at first, not starting the game, but providing a lot of spark off the bench.
Yeah, Marich has had a great hustle, like you said, DJ. Throughout the first 10 minutes of this first half, he's had a lot of hustle plays with a lot of offensive and defensive rebounds, providing his team with second opportunities just like this, as he gives his team a couple of easy points right there. And Kelly will play against Marich as he blows past him and takes a shot to the lane, and he is fouled on the layup. So we've seen Kelly attacking the rim, like you said a few minutes ago, DJ. If you were Kelly, keep attacking the rim, using your speed to get around the defender and going up strong to the hoop and drawing the foul and going to the free throw line and getting some easy points. And Kelly's no stranger to the free throw line thus far in this game.
And that's a good foul if you're the Lancers. You don't want to give up. Kelly's going to keep driving to the basket, and you don't want to give up easy layups. If you're going to if you're the Lancer defense, you're telling the Bulldogs right now, hey, you're not gonna score on us by getting layups. You're gonna make us pay from the free throw line.
So 25-16 Lancer lead as they are working the ball on the outer perimeter. As Wright gets the ball, dishes it to the corner. And we're going to have an offensive foul on Walker Corral as he put his arm around the Bulldog defender to get around him. And the official was right there to see that foul, and he called it right away. So Bulldog possession as Kelly takes the inbound.
Stepped out of bounds.
And that was Sage Fadness. Just not realizing how close he was to the out-of-bounds line, and his heel steps out of bounds as he makes a turn towards the basket, and we'll have a timeout, and we'll take one as well. We'll be right back with you for the ending of this first half here on Snow TV. And we're back here on Snow TV, just under 10 minutes to play here in the first half of Eastern Wyoming versus Montana Western, as the Lancers control a 9-point lead over the Bulldogs.
And really, Ben, that's in part to a hot shooting streak by the Serbians here on the Lancers. Other than that, it's really been a back and forth affair, but a 9-point lead because of 3 straight possessions and 3 straight three-pointers by the 2 Serbians for the Lancers. Great shooting tonight.
Yeah, right you are. Just 3 straight threes in a row equals into a 9-point lead, and really you hit the nail right on the head right there, DJ. That's what it is. As the Lancers drain another 3, that is Skopnik for another 3-pointer tonight.
And if I'm the Lancers coach, I might consider the Bulldogs coach, I might consider telling my players, step out on those 3-pointers. If they drive past you and beat you, that's fine, but the Lancers have shown they've not been great at hitting their layups tonight, but great at hitting 3-pointers. So if I'm the coach of the Bulldogs, I might be telling my players, hey, give them the layups, but just don't give them the 3-pointers.
So let's see what the Bulldogs can do, answering back Skopnik's 3-pointer as they find a wide open, what appeared to be a wide open Hunter Ericard down in the paint. Returns to be a rejection on his shot attempt. So great defensive hustle for the Lancers to get back in possession and contest that shot attempt. But once again, the Bulldogs find themselves at the free throw line as the Lancers continue to foul and offer free points to the Bulldogs. So you got to watch your fouls here, DJ, because if you start getting into foul trouble, that means the Bulldogs can continue to attack the rim, and that means your defense can't be too strong because you don't want to foul out of the game.
Definitely, and if we've seen anything so far is the Lancers getting the bulk of their points from 3-pointers, but the Bulldogs getting the bulk of their points from free throws. Now if the Lancers just start playing a little bit smarter defense and limiting those fouls, I think they're up by a lot more at this point in the game.
Yeah, other than the free throw attempts by a variety of players for the Bulldogs, Kelly's really been the main offensive player for the Bulldogs. As Olsen has a dribble drive stop pop in the paint and gets the nice little floater for 2.
That's a great way to split the double team from Olsen. And again on the other side is number 10, that's Sage Fadness answering.
So ball taken away by the Bulldogs as Sage Fadness takes the ball up and shoots a jumper from the free throw line off the back of the rim as Merritt comes down with the board and takes it across for the Lancers. Schroefel will set up the offense, gives it to Olsen. Olsen feeds it over into the corner.
It's a nice trap there in the corner.
Schroefel with 10 seconds on the shot clock. Feeds it off to the top of the paint. It's a great defense thus far for the Bulldogs as Merritt shoots a three in and out, but offensive board for Warren Hayes right there in the right spot at the right time, and that's just tough luck. If you're a Bulldogs player, you hold them for 25 seconds in the shot clock. Merritt puts up a desperate three in the corner. It rims out. Nobody boxes out as Hayes gets a easy offensive board and puts it in.
Right, that was, I saw number 24, Jordan Dahr, kind of miss his assignment there. He was kind of just standing there waiting for the ball to come to him, but the Lancer player didn't see who got that putback, but just swoops in and just comes and takes it right from him and puts it back in for two.
So just mental mistake right there for the Bulldogs, results in an easy 2 points for the Lancers.
And if I remember any drills we ran more on when I played high school basketball in Clearfield, Utah, the drills we ran the most were definitely boxing out, a huge part of the game, and giving up those offensive rebounds can be so costly.
So Kelly will feed the ball in the paint as a air ball is put up, and Kelly's right there to catch that air ball. And you can say that was a pass if you want, but Kelly's right there to grab that air ball out of the air and put it easy for two quick, easy points. And again, right there, Lancer's not boxing out Kelly as he gets that point. As Schroeffel's layup is missed, but Merritt is there to clean up for another offensive rebound and puts that up in there for 2 points.
I think on that last shot, DeRocher would like to consider that an assist rather than an air ball.
I would.
And wide open in the corner. That is number 11, Quinn McLaughlin, with the three-pointer. So we see a little bit of life here from the Bulldogs.
So there will be a foul against the Bulldogs, and the Lancers, Merritt, will inbound it to Schroefel. Nice shot put up by Hayes, just a easy catch and shoot inside the paint. So Hayes is having himself a pretty good game thus far, as we were just over 5 minutes left to play in this first half. As that shot attempt by the Bulldogs is no good. Lancers looking to push. Pull up three by the Lancers is an air ball by Skoknik. As the Bulldogs look to push as the officials stop play for a foul.
And when you're here and now they're in the bonus because of all these fouls, now Kelly didn't even need to bring the ball up to the court and just gets a foul, and now is an opportunity to put 2 points up on the board.
And so with 5 minutes remaining in the first half, the Lancers have to play the rest of this game in the bonus. So easy points coming to the Bulldogs if the Lancers continue to foul. So Kelly connects on his first attempt. Make that 2. So the Bulldogs once again find themselves down by 9 points. Approaching 5 minutes left in the first half, as we will get a offensive foul on Olsen, and the Bulldogs will get the ball right back. Kelly taking the ball up the court, dishes it off. 3-point attempt, no good. Merritt on the rebound. And that 3-point attempt by the Lancers is no good by Hayes. But offensive rebounds continuing to fall towards the Lancers' way, but they could not convert on that offensive rebound as Kelly looks to push the ball. And they will get an offensive foul against Jesse Shelley on that drive.
That's a nice charge taken by Grant Olson, just getting into position. That's textbook basketball.
So into the game comes Romero Cornish for the Lancers. Schroefel on the drive, finds a cutting Cornish, but unable to convert on that baseline layup.
See a bit of a frustration there from Cornish as he knows he had a wide open layup and just blew it there.
But ball possession still lies with the Lancers as Schroefel will inbound it to Olson into the corner. Olson dribbling around, drives towards the paint, throws up a lefty hook, no good. Ball falls into Bulldogs' possession. So great ball movement right now for the Bulldogs as Torrey's reverse layup is no good. Great defense by Cornish as Schroefel finds a cutting Marriage towards Zoop, and he goes for the dunk and is fouled and stuffed by the rim on the attempt, but I think it was the defensive foul that caused I have a loss for words right now, DJ.
He kind of fell over there.
Yeah.
On the bottom. I think a defensive foul was kind of down towards his legs, and he kind of just, the body was there and he fell over. But I think either way, he did not get high enough for that dunk.
You know, sometimes DJ just have a loss for words. But Marriage is able to take 1 point out of 2 thus far at the free throw line as he connects on his second attempt. So, goes for the dunk, misses the dunk, is fouled, goes to the free throw line, and converts 2. So great hustle defense by Marriage, almost causing the turnover. Bulldogs trying to find any way to cut into this zone defense by the Lancers as that 3 almost rims in and out, but Walker is able to make that 3-point attempt.
That's a great block there by Kelly. And Walker has 2 3-pointers on the night, and he's just going to continue to shoot. He's got a lot of confidence from the 3-point line as he takes another.
So Walker having a little bit of a heat check right there as he misses that 3-point attempt, as the Lancers' great ball movement finds a wide open Corral in the corner as he hits yet another 3 in this first half.
And again, that is, Casey Ryter, the tallest player on the roster, but plays a lot more of a guard function, at least on offense.
So,
and then Olson with his 3 of his own, lots of back-to-back 3-pointers.
Yeah, so Corral hit a 3, and then Ryter hit a 3, and then Olson hit a 3. So a lot of 3-point shooting going on in the late part of this first half. So Torrey there for the offensive rebound, but unable to put it in for the put in, as Corral's shot attempt is no good as the Bulldogs look to push. So great feed in there for Kelly as he throws up a ball, but Cornish on the rebound steps out of bounds, I believe. Wait, nope, I stand corrected. It'll be a offensive foul against the Bulldogs, so it'll be Lancer ball in the bonus, or the Lancers now, so Cornish will be going to the free throw line. So 2 minutes remaining here in the first half. Lancers 44, Bulldogs 33, as Cornish looks to extend this Lancer lead. And so Cornish will go 2 for 2 at the free throw line as number 50 Tyler Davis comes into the game for Eastern Wyoming. So you'd like to see a little bit of a run here if you're a Bulldogs fan or a Bulldogs player. Put together a little bit of a run right here heading into halftime, and that's a great way to start it right there as the Bulldogs get a three-pointer.
Both DeRocher and Walker both showing that they're strong three-point shooters and have a lot of confidence from the arc.
So Schroefel on the drive to the right, going to his strong hand. Easy right-handed layup for him. And so we're going to get a foul on the play, so the Bulldogs will be shooting 2. So DeRocher, first shot good. DeRocher having himself a pretty good game thus far in the first half, hitting a couple of threes. Goes 1 for 2 on those free throws right there as Schroefel looks to push it for the Lancers. Gives it off to Marich as he drives towards the lane. Right-handed layup. Good. And one as Torrey will be called for the blocking foul.
And those calls as a ref are sometimes hard to make. You got to be watching the feet to know if the defender's feet are planted, because that makes all the difference between an offensive foul and going the other way, or if it's a blocking foul and a chance at a three-point play.
And Torrey will take a seat after that blocking foul. So Marich for an opportunity for a three-point play, and he gets it.
Lancers trying to finish out strong at the end of the second half with their biggest lead of the game so far, as DeRocher, another impressive three-pointer.
So just under a minute left to play. Lancers up by 11. Schroefel has the ball. Drives to his left, throws it up, dishes it off to Skokonik as he misses that. But offensive rebound again for the Lancers, DJs. These offensive rebounds are making quite a contribution for this Lancer lead.
Yeah, I think the Lancers just taking advantage of their height.
And so DeRocher will find his way back to the free throw line as he went 1 for 2 on his last trip to the free throw line. So 19 seconds remaining in the first half. Lancers up by 12 as DeRocher makes his first shot attempt from the line.
For a big part of this half, most of the offense for the Bulldogs coming from Zach Darko Kelly, but now DeRocher with, I think it's been about 7 or 8 straight points on his own. As we come down to 10 seconds left, Lancers trying to get a last-minute bucket there, and they get it with Richer, and 5 seconds left.
And so DeRocher just throws one up at the buzzer, and the Lancers will go into half 55, Bulldogs 42. So kind of a lopsided game thus far, completely controlled by the Lancers. But we got a second half worth of basketball to play. Let's see what the Bulldogs can talk up in the locker room as they prepare to come out to the second half. I've been Ben Butler, DJ Harris so far in the first half of this game. We'll get the second half for you after halftime, coming right up on Snow TV. Alrighty, we're back with you for the start of the second half. Sorry about those technical difficulties, but we got them figured out as the Lancers control the ball and control the scoreboard as well, as Schroefel passes down to Olsen, and Olsen with a reverse layup on the baseline gets 2 points, as the Lancers are 59, Bulldogs 44. So, DJ, what would you like to see from the Bulldogs throughout this second half? I mean, you're down by a double digits, as a three-point attempt is no good, but offensively and defensively, really, as a player for the Bulldogs, what do you think they should do this second half?
I think it comes down to interior defense and closing out on the shooters. Western Montana has shown that they can score. I mean, 44 points and a half for a junior college basketball team it's not a bad number, but they're just letting too many second chance opportunities on defense, not boxing out, and not closing out on the shooters. I've seen multiple times where Eastern Wyoming, who's shown that they can hit many three-pointers, are just not being closed out on. A kind of defender just being lazy, getting to his position and letting them take a wide-open three-pointer, and that's where they've been making them pay. One plus for Montana is they've taken quite a few more free throws than Eastern Wyoming. So I think if you're the Bulldogs, you keep attacking because you're getting those fouls and you're hitting most of your free throws. So I think if you're the Bulldogs, the key to this game, trying to come back in this game, is going to be playing tighter defense, not being lazy, getting to your positions, and also attacking and drawing those fouls like we see just now with another defensive foul.
Yeah, right, you are, DJ, as the Lancers really pick up where they left off. Another foul to start off the second half, so let's see if the Lancers clean up the defensive game a little bit and not foul so much. And great defense right there, just standing your ground as Olsen had his hands straight up on causing the miscommunication on the play by Kelly on that layup. But as Kelly has a great pass down court, feeds it out to a wide open Derek Walker for the three. So great.
That was a really great sequence for Western Montana, as the nice steal by Kelly and then the and one on the other side. But that was a great steal by Kelly to start the play. Got it down to Casey Ryter, who recognized the open shooter, Derek Walker, who's been having a good night, and he was able to knock down the three, but can't get back. But then, after a nice offensive play, can't get back on defense, and the Lancers make him pay.
So you gain 3 points to cut into that lead, and you just give up 3 points right back at him. So
a nice over around the back there. Walker showing some of his handles.
Schroefel was caught in the middle of the court by himself, but able to recover and get back defensively, as Ryter, the tallest guy in the court at 6'7", easily grabs that offensive rebound and puts it back in. And
the Lancers just missed that three-pointer, as the guy going for the ball there kind of ran into the barrier and got him right in the face there. But he's come back on the court. He seems to be okay, just a little bit rattled. But number 3 for the Lancers, they're taking that three-pointer. That's Will Osborne. He missed that shot, but again, he was just bringing the ball up the court and just went straight up to the three-point line. Nobody closing out on him. And if you're the Bulldogs, you're lucky he didn't make that, and you gotta start closing out on those shooters.
So Bulldogs looking to attack. DeRocher kicks it back out to Ryter for the three, and he gets it. Great offensive ball movement right there between DeRocher and Ryter, finding the open man as Ryter drains a three. So Olsen has the ball, drives to his left, spins around, and a whistle on the play. And we're going to get a foul on the Bulldogs. So Torrey will come out of the game, and Hunter Ericart will see his first minutes in the second half as he substitute into the game, as that ball is inbounded to Corral, and we have another whistle on the play.
Now, if you're the Lancers, you're feeling good about your position. You're up by 12. You don't want to get lazy. Still 17 minutes in this game. But if I'm the coach of the Lancers, I mean, they've still given up 52 points here in just 5 minutes into the second half. And both Montana and the Lancers are on track to score over 100 points in this game. And for a junior college basketball game, that's just a game with very little defense if they're getting that many points.
And so a little bit of a sloppy play right now for the Bulldogs as they got 3 straight fouls, but Kelly able to read that inbound pass and steal it and takes control coast to coast and puts up a wild shot as he gets fouled inside the paint. So Kelly will head back to the free throw line.
I think Kelly's going to come out strong in this second half. He started the first half really strong. Lots of good takes to the basket, but kind of faded there at the end. But now he's coming out. He recognizes his team is down and needs his offensive power. So he's going to be attacking the basket a lot in the second half and getting those fouls. And I think we're going to see him at the line a lot.
And so that ball touches every part of that rim and finds its way to the bottom of the net as Kelly goes 2 for 2. So Marich dishes it off to Skopnik as Terrell has it, kicks back to Skopnik up the top. Pump fakes, drives, left hand, gets blocked by Ryter at the rim. So Kelly gets that board. Nice pass to Hunter Ericard for the wide open layup. So you got to be loving the defensive hustle so far by the Bulldogs.
And that was a beautiful setup to number 22 Hunter Ericard, who just took advantage of the beautiful pass and the wide open layup.
Yeah, so Ericard hustling back down the court for that fast break point. And what a pass by Kelly on that pass to Ericard as well. So simple bounce pass to him and helping cut into this Lancer lead, which is now at 8, but the Lancers back at the free throw line to potentially extend it back to double digits. And this is Walker Corral at the line. Makes the first one.
Bulldogs doing a great job at answering. Coming out a little bit flat in the first couple minutes of the half, but have put together a nice little run here in the last 2 minutes as Corral hits that second free throw.
And out of the game comes Schroefel, and into the game comes Romero Cornish. Saw a little bit of him in the late minutes of the first half. Lancers up by 10.
Ryter with the three-pointer.
And the bank is open today. DJ as Ryter banks in another 3, cutting into this Lancer lead, which is now at 7.
It's definitely nice when your tallest player on the court can also run out to the arc and hit a three-pointer. That adds a whole nother dimension to your offense.
So Olsen has the ball just outside the arc. Passes it down to Marich as Marich misses that shot attempt. And the ball is stolen away by Cornish as he throws up a shot as it hits the side of the backboard. And the Bulldogs will take possession. But great defense by Cornish, not giving up so easily on that offensive rebound to steal the ball away, and just unfortunate to come away with 2 points right there.
And I think that would have resulted in a layup for the Lancers if Cornish had turned around there. He had, what's the name there? He had Marich there wide open if he had just turned around and found the pass, but trying to put up the forced shot, and but still a great defensive hustle there by Cornish as we see Walker passing in the ball now to DeRocher.
So Walker drawing the foul on Marich as DeRocher has the ball at the far right side of the court, is looking to have a one-on-one action, and he does, and DeRocher has a nice little jump shot for 2. As the lead has been cut to 5 as Olsen takes it in, reverse under the hand layup for Olsen and extends that lead back to 8. So the Bulldogs doing a pretty good job at keeping themselves back in this game, thanks to Ryter and Walker and Kelly combining for a little bit of this run right here as Kelly looks to take it in, and there will be a blocking foul.
That's a good call by the ref there. Obviously the player wasn't set, and that's going to result in some more free throws for Kelly. Or are they going to take it under? I think they're going to take it under. Not quite in the bonus yet. But with the way the Lancers is playing defense, and no, this call is reversed. Are they going to call a charge? I'm not sure I agree with that. I was watching the defender, and it did not look like his feet were set there.
It's an unfortunate call going against Kelly and the Bulldogs. They had an opportunity on that possession to help cut into this 7-point deficit, but it goes the other way. So Cornish will feed the ball to Olsen. Olsen looking for a cutting man, nothing there. Olsen decides to take it himself, and he is stripped of the ball as he is going up, retains Lancer possession as Mirich looks to inbound it from underneath the hoop.
Kelly doing a good job of not necessarily going up and blocking the shot straight up, but getting his hands in there and stripping the ball before it even goes up as Mirich gets up for a contested layup and puts it in.
So DeRocher for a deep three, and continues to find the bottom of the net as DeRocher is having a fantastic night shooting from behind the arc.
Bulldogs got to feel good about their performance so far in the second half. Only a 6-point game as Ryter grabs that rebound. And pretty manageable with the way they've been shooting the three-pointer. You got to think that's only 2 3-pointers away as Ryter takes it. No good right there, but if I'm the coach for Western Montana, I would tell Ryter to keep taking that shot.
And so as Cornish looks to have a layup, they will be called for a foul before the shot. So when we come back after this timeout, it'll be Lancer possession here on Snow TV. And we are back for the second half of the basketball game. Under 15 minutes left to go here in the second half. With that prolonged, extended timeout there that we just had, DJ, as they had difficulties getting the basketball hoop set up.
Yeah, they brought the basketball hoop down to fix the net, and then I guess they didn't know how to put it back up, or we're just having a bit of struggle to get it back up. But now we got it, and it's game on.
As Romero Cornish will be at the free throw line, 1 for 1 as he gets the first one, second one coming right up. So lead back to 8. The closest the Bulldogs have gone was within 5. So Bulldogs still in this game. Plenty of time left. Kelly has the ball, rolls to his right, steps up, shoots it, drains it from the free throw line. A great shot by Kelly.
They pull it back to within 6. Lancers still maintaining the lead, but Bulldogs not going away. And every time the Lancers have scored, the Bulldogs have just come right back.
And Danielle Wright on the missed shot attempt, but Cornish on the offensive rebound, unable to put that back. So DeRocher with the ball, driving down, flips it up in there, and does not get a friendly roll as Cornish gets that rebound. So great find to Olsen down low, wide open, and all Ryter could do was foul him and keep him from getting easy points and send him to the free throw line.
I think that is a good foul from Ryter. He knew he was beat, and so just grabbing the arm, nothing blatant or intentional, but making him shoot 2 free throws.
So Olsen able to capitalize on both free throw attempts as Walker takes the ball up the court for the Bulldogs. Great defense by the Lancers right there, causing that turnover, and the Lancers get it, but Petar Skopnik was able to fall on top of that, but he would be called for traveling as he rolled over to pass that ball off to one of his teammates.
Even though that resulted in the travel and the turnover, a great defensive hustle from the Lancers, who haven't shown a whole lot of life so far in this second half, even though they have a lead.
So shot attempt by Walker off the rim, rebounded by Cornish as Skopnik dishes it off to Cornish. Cornish will feed it off to Correll as Correll takes it into the lane and fouled on the shot attempt, and Correll will be shooting 2.
And now lately in the last few minutes, we've seen the Lancers taking a few trips to the free throw line, which hasn't been does not follow the trend of the game so far, as Montana Western has definitely a lot more free throws on the game, but Lancers getting a few opportunities at the line.
So Correll good on the first one as Mirich and Schroefel set to check into the game. Schroefel comes into the game. As Correll makes a second, and Mirich will come into the game for Skopnik. My bad, correction, Correll.
I think Kelly's going to look to get back up involved offensively in this game as he just pulls up. That shot's no good.
So Mirich towing the baseline on that rebound, takes it. Crossover down the paint, coast to coast. Mirich, easy points right there from Mirich. Just takes it from one side to the other. A simple crossover and just gets inside the paint. So not much defensively right there for the Bulldogs. Not much help side D as DeRocher fires from downtown again as he has got the hot hand throughout this entire game. So if I was the Bulldogs, I'd keep feeding him the ball as he is making it rain from well beyond the arc.
That's a much-needed 3 from DeRocher as Mirich gets another 2-pointer. But The Bulldogs at one point pulled to within 5 points, but lead extended back to 12, then down to 9, and then up to 11 again. So the Lancers doing a good job at answering. But if I'm the Bulldogs, I'm feeding DeRocher as a bad pass off the leg of number 22, Hunter Erickhart, results in a turnover.
And so Walker will get called for the foul as he thought he tied up Olsen as he was driving to the lane. But Walker will get called for the foul, and we'll have a timeout, and we'll be right back with you. Lancer possession when we come back. And so we're back. Olsen at the free throw line after that foul by Walker. Olsen's first shot attempt good. Olsen goes 2 for 2 as Ryter inbounds that ball to Kelly. So just over 10 minutes left remaining in the second half. Lancers up by 13. As DeRocher has the ball again, as he has had the hot hand, as he is just crowded by Daniel Wright, and Daniel Wright's going to get called for the defensive foul. So Ryter looks to inbound it for the Bulldogs as Mirich will give him the pressure as Walker gets the inbound, and yet another foul on the inbound. So back-to-back fouls against the Lancers.
Lancers have extended their lead back out to 13. And yet another foul on the Lancers. That is 3 straight just on the inbounds play. Coach can't be happy with that.
So that's one way to rack up the fouls and help get the other team closer to the bonus. As throughout 10 minutes of the second half, the Lancers had only committed 3 fouls. But within 5 seconds, 10 seconds, they've already committed 3 straight fouls. So working their way up to the bonus as Ryder looks to inbound it for the 3rd straight time and finds a wide open Kelly. As Kelly takes Olsen one-on-one and floats it up there, and that ball bounces around the rim and finds its way to the bottom of the net. So Schroefel will take it. Throws it back to Skoknik as he shoots the 3, and he gets it.
Yeah, if you remember, Skoknik had those 2 back-to-back threes to open up the game for the Lancers. Been pretty quiet since then, but definitely has shown that he can hit that 3-pointer, so always a threat from Skoknik.
So Kelly calls for a screen on Olsen by Ryder, finds a wide open Ryder as he pops out behind the arc. No good on the point attempt. So Olsen will kick it up to Mirich as Mirich takes it against DeRocher. Throws it back to Skoknik for another 3 and misses that shot attempt. Rebound by Walker and gives it up to Kelly as he finds DeRocher in the corner for 3. Misses that, and Walker gets the wide open rebound and lays it in for 2.
Just a misassignment there from the Lancers results in an easy 2 points for Walker.
So Mirich finds himself wide open as he shoots from the free point line and unable to get that as Walker almost loses the ball, but retains possession, gives it to Kelly as Kelly takes Olsen again from the top of the key, and I'm unable to convert.
And Kelly here, I'd like to see Kelly more take the ball to the hoop and try to drive. As Skokenik hits yet another three-pointer. Kelly in the last few minutes has been settling for kind of dribbling around for some ISO plays and settling for mid-range jumpers, and he's been able to hit a couple of them. And there we go here, as I was saying, Kelly, when he takes the ball to the basket, he usually ends up either converting or getting put on the free throw line to shoot two.
Kelly at the line makes his first one, and we'll have quite a few substitutions into the game. So into the game for the Lancers is Jovan Elozovic, and for the Lancers, 3 players come off the bench. Maybe these 3 players off of the bench can help give the Bulldogs a spark that's well needed, as we are underneath 10 minutes to play in this ball game, as the Bulldogs trail by 13. So Schroefel drives around. Olsen kicks it off to Skoknovic as he passes it to Elzovic and finds Olsen down low. Olsen misses his first shot attempt, but able to get his own rebound on the second attempt, puts it in for 2. So extending that lead to 15.
Miscommunication there on the offense as Kelly was slashing to the basket, but Sage Fadness didn't know that, throwing the ball straight out of bounds. And as the Lancers extended their lead to 15 points here with 8 minutes left, it's going to be a pretty tough battle for the Bulldogs to try to fight their way back into this one.
Well, that offensive foul against the Lancers will help the Bulldogs at this moment, as they will get the ball back, as Sage Fadness looks to inbound it to Kelly as Mirich comes and puts the pressure on the inbound. So Mirich now on Kelly. We've seen Olsen play Kelly quite a few times, but Kelly misses that 3-point, and Kelly gets a frustration foul.
Not a smart foul there by Kelly. At this point, the Lancers are in the double bonus, so every foul is going to result in 2 shots from the Lancers. And the way they've been shooting free throws, that's basically like giving up 2 points. If you're the Bulldogs right now, to get your way back into this game, you just need to lock down and play tight defense, but keep the fouls to a minimum.
So Mirich will find his way back to the free throw line. Just under 8 minutes left to play, as he looks to extend the Lancer lead by 17. First one is good. So that'll extend the lead to 17. So it's kind of sad to see DJ, as the Bulldogs crawled within 5 early on within the second half, but kind of tanked thus far throughout the rest of the second half, as they are down 17 now.
Definitely vanished offensively, and a lot of offensive spark they had earlier to cut it within 5 was due to the shooting of Derek Walker and Derek DeRocher. But kind of just fading, as Kelly's now really the only offensive threat on the court for the Bulldogs.
So both teams trade a pair of free throws as Schroefel inbound and gives it to Elozovic, and results in 2 points for the Lancers on that possession.
That was Tyler Davis there with a difficult shot from the side of the basket. Sort of a strange play there.
As
I think Kelly's going to take this one straight into Davis. Good job by Davis there, not fouling, but giving up the layup still.
So great defense by Kelly and the Bulldogs, enabling Kelly to get down the court and take Davis one-on-one for the easy layup. As Skoknik finds an open Davis in the paint, and Davis gets it right back. So Ericart will take it to the paint as he thought he was fouled, but there's a no call, and Ericart will just have to get back on D. So Olsen spinning around Kelly, and you would get...
Olsen called for the offensive foul. A little bit of confusion. All the players there seem to be a little bit confused as to why Olsen was called for the foul there, but the ref says no, there's no mistake, and gives the ball back to the Bulldogs. And now I think the coach of the Bulldogs has called it in, putting in all of the subs. A couple players now who haven't really gotten into the game coming in now. A nice drive there by Kelly.
So Olsen will come into the game. It comes in Corral. He's had a good night tonight as he's sunk in quite a few three-pointers to help pack this lead that the Lancers have at this point.
And you might ask yourself, if you're watching at home, why is coach of the Bulldogs keeping Kelly in this game when all other players have been subbed out for the bench? But Kelly right now has shown that he's the number one option on this Eastern Montana team, and I think on a team like this, he's definitely got hopes and aspirations to maybe land himself on a higher team, maybe a varsity D3 or D2 program. And so this is a great opportunity at the end of this game for Kelly to be really the sole number one option and maybe create some plays for the highlight reel, something for the coaches and recruiters to look at, so he can try to land himself on a higher caliber team.
So Marich goes 2 for 2 on his attempts at the line. As Kelly takes it, drives down, and easy layup for Kelly right there. As Will Osborne takes it down the court and gives that to Marich, and he is fouled, and he gets the basket. So Marich for an opportunity for a three-point play, and also the opportunity to break that 100-point mark.
Definitely. Montana Western definitely struggling on defense so far in these first two games. Yesterday they were playing against Snow College, gave up 114 points, and tonight giving up at least 99 with 5:43 left to go in this game. Safe to say it'll be at least a few more points at the end of this game as Marich takes the free throw, tries to get him past 100.
So I don't believe they counted the and one on that DJ because Marich is still at the line to shoot two. He did make that shot though.
He did. It was impressive too.
It was an impressive shot, most definitely, but I don't believe they counted it. So Marich will go to the line to shoot two and give the Lancers a breakthrough of that 100-point mark. As Fatness takes that jump shot near the free throw line off the rim as Lancers take it, as Fatness gets the rebound, and he's got to slow it up and let his team set up offensively. And wide open shot for Todd Southam, but maybe he was a little too wide open on that shot as it hit the far left side of the rim.
The long rebound comes to number 32, Matthew Hitchcock, who's seeing some of his first action today.
So Kelly taking himself and then finds a wide open Todd Southam again, streaking baseline.
See, and if I'm Kelly, I'm feeling pretty good about that pass that he made. He gave his teammate a great opportunity there to score, but just couldn't convert on the layup.
So Fadness for three, unable to convert. And Warren Hayes on the rebound as he gives that ball up to Mirich. So Skoknik on the drive.
It's a blocking foul there on Kelly. And I think they might finally sub him out. So Kelly's had a great night, scoring on a lot of possessions and showing a lot of his prowess on the ball. I think he's got a lot of opportunity to have a future in collegiate basketball. But with 4:21 left in this game, coach is putting in some of the players that haven't seen the court yet. Can't get a number on him. It's number 21, I believe. Joe Frields seeing the court for the first time.
So Shelley with the ball, working on Osborne. Has a nice move right there for Matthew Hitchcock for the Bulldogs. And again, we see Skoknik with another three-pointer in him. And a few other players tonight, like for the Bulldogs, the Rocher have just been lighting up from behind the arc all evening long. So,
and that's why you see so many points on the board. See, 107 to 85 in a junior college basketball game. If you score 85 points, generally you're on the winning side. But when you give up 107, that's not going to work out for you.
So, Trey Schroefel on the play right there as a fine and dandy move by Jesse Shell. Just does not go, but he finds himself open for a three, and that doesn't go either. Olsen on the rebound, gives it off to Schroefel.
At this point in the game where the outcome is all but decided, you're going to see a lot of plays where the players trying to find an opportunity to kind of show themselves off and show the coach what they can do.
So the ball being pinballed around for quite a few seconds as either team is unable to come up with possession as that ball is rolled off the foot of Olsen out of bounds. So the Bulldogs will take possession with 3 minutes and 8 seconds remaining in this ball game.
Wonder why coach is making subs, putting in a couple more starters. DeRocher and Ryter, who played most of the game, coming back in at the end of this game. Maybe trying to put just a few more points on the board, make the score look a bit more respectable.
And so DeRocher will find his way back to the free throw line. But DeRocher is mainly living from tonight's game is from behind the arc as he's made some pretty deep shots from behind the arc and definitely been able to provide a little bit of an offensive current for his team tonight, but not too much to come away with a victory tonight as the Lancers trail by a double-digit deficit.
Olsen with a nice post move there on Ryter. He's had a pretty strong game tonight.
So Ryder sets a screen on Schroefel for DeRocher as DeRocher's shot attempt does not go. As Cornish comes away with the rebound and gives it off to Osborne. And we will have a timeout on the floor. 2 minutes and 25 seconds remaining in this ball game, and we will be right back with you to finish the game after this timeout. And welcome back to Snow TV as we are covering all coverage of this round robin tournament here in Richfield, Utah, as tonight's first game between Montana Western and Eastern Wyoming is coming to a close as there is over 2 minutes left in the second half as the Lancers have a complete control of the outcome of this game as Ryter
Looked like he was fouled there on the drive.
So Ryter will go to the line to shoot 2. And just to remind you, after this game here, we have Central Arizona taking on Snow College, and that'll be coming up to you live after this game. We should be broadcasting at 7. 7 o'clock is the scheduled tip-off time. So stay tuned for that game following this game. So Ryder will get 2 at the line. And Osborne will take it up for the Lancers as he finds the Cornish, as Cornish will feed it back to Davis as he will get the ball back, and cross-court pass to Osborne as he will step back for a 3, and he will get it.
That's a nice hit by Osborne. He's been pretty solid all night from the three-point line.
So DeRocha continuing to light it up from behind the arc. I've lost count for how many points or threes he's had, but well in the double digits tonight with points. I don't know about double digits for three-pointers made, but DeRocha has hands down been the biggest influence so far for the Bulldogs tonight. Him and Kelly have really sparked their offensive plays, but defensively the Bulldogs haven't been able to stop the Lancers from scoring. As DeRocha shoots another 3 and gets it.
DeRocha, I think, just taking advantage of the last minute of this game to show the coaches and the fans here that he's got some deep range on the ball.
So DeRocha proving to everybody that he's got a hot hand, and he's definitely proven that tonight.
I think that's why they subbed him in late in the game, even though the score was pretty not overcomable. They brought in DeRocha to make a couple threes and make it look a little bit more respectable.
And Cornish finds himself wide open underneath the basket as Wright will take a shot at DeRocha.
And he's
now
going to pull up again.
And he misses that. And, I mean, he was deep. He was really deep, DJ, and he still hit the front of the rim. So DeRocha definitely got some range, as he's proven all night.
I think Eastern Wyoming is just going to dribble this one out. Maybe about a half-second difference between the shot clock and game clock. And those might be the last points of the night, unless DeRocha can maybe get up, take one more shot. 4 seconds, 3, 2.
So Wright with some good defense in the game to keep DeRocha from without that last shot attempt. But the ending of tonight's score, the Lancers of Eastern Wyoming 118 and the Bulldogs of Montana Western 95. We thank you for joining us here on Snow TV, and reminder that following this game at 7 o'clock, tip-off time is Eastern Arizona taking on Snow College. So join us for that game. Tip-off is at 7. I'm Ben Butler. Joining alongside me is DJ Harris. And you have a great night, and look forward to hearing from you again next time on Snow TV.
Central Arizona.
Is it?
Yeah, you said Eastern.
Welcome out, one and all, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. This is Jacob Bateman. Joined along with me is Ben Butler on Snow TV with the rest of the Snow TV crew. We got a cameraman and a TriCaster all working hard to bring you this game, what looks to be an exciting matchup between the Snow College Badgers and Central Arizona Vaqueros.
And so the Badgers win the tip-off as the Badgers are working the far side of the ball as Zach Hunsaker's shot rims in and out for that three-point attempt. And here comes Central Arizona for their first possession of the ball game.
Yes, it is. Both teams came away victorious yesterday. This is the second day of action here in this tournament, this round-robin tournament, being held down here in Richfield, Utah, the satellite campus for Snow College. But they have a nice gym down here, and got to give these fans a chance to see the Badgers as well, as we see Hunsaker come away with the rebound there and fouled on the play by Josiah Westbrook. Jones looking around. Now the ball makes its way back to Jones. Drives in, has a strip by Westbrook. Here's Johnson running the other way. Johnson with the left hand, and he lays it up and in. Jaquan Johnson, the sophomore out of Chester, Pennsylvania.
So great awareness by Johnson to realize the strip defensively and to hustle back court and get that fast break points right there as Central Arizona strikes first.
Brunel kicks out to Hunsaker. It's Panner. He's dangerous from three, but they're looking for Brunel down low and not able to find him. Ball going back to the Vaqueros. Johnson hesitated on the three, and they're going to say traveled. Jones was coming in, closing out on him. Forced him to think twice about the shot. Hunsaker gives to Panner in the corner. Badgers yet to get on the board here early on, 2 minutes into this game. Hunsaker to Brunel. Jones is open in the corner. He takes it, and his shot's off the rim.
Bordered by Kareem Simmons for the Vaqueros.
Ball given down low, and a foul is called. That's Deshaun Shelton doing the damage for the Vaqueros. He's going to go to the free throw line.
So good heads up by Shelton right there to get the Badger defender up in the air and just throwing his body into the contact and being able to earn himself potentially a couple of free points right here as he sinks the first one.
Makes the first one and the second one. So we saw Snow College get off to a hot start in the last game. This one proving that it may have a little bit more of a challenge tonight against the Vaqueros. The zone defense by Central Arizona proving the Badgers fits right now. Not able to find much of anything to work with.
So Shelton will get called for that defensive foul right there. But like you said, Jacob, the zone defense is giving the Badgers a new look right here 3 minutes into this game, as they're trying to find any way to attack it.
Just a simple 2-3 zone. Doing wonders right now for Central Arizona. Hunsaker, he can't hit the three either.
And that was a good look for Hunsaker, but you got to credit the defense to Central Arizona being able to close out and contesting that shot.
Kareem Simmons gives off to Johnson. Badgers playing man-to-man defense. Johnson, step back three, no. Rebound pulled down by Truman. Snow looking to push it the other way. The Vaqueros do a good job about getting back.
And that's just poor court vision right there as Truman found himself wide open underneath the hoop. But the Central Arizona missed a big one right there as Truman was able to slip behind the defense and find himself wide open, as Central Arizona on the other end finds a wide open Shelton as he's unable to convert on that 3-point attempt.
And so the ball's going to go out of bounds, back to the Badgers. Still scoreless. This is rare for a Snow College team, coached by Coach Rob Nilsson, the athletic director and the men's basketball coach. And he likes his teams to get out to fast starts, and they like the 3-ball. But it looks like Snow's going to be able to get on the board as Hunsaker drove in, got fouled, and he's going to have 2 free throws coming his way. That foul goes on. They're gonna get Gertz Lansons with the foul, all the way from Latvia, 6'8" freshman.
So the Badgers finally find themselves on the scoreboard 5 minutes into the first half as Hunsaker splits a pair of free throws.
Three ball other way, that's in and out. Offensive rebound pulled down by Shelton, and he can't get it. Another offensive rebound, it's Simmons, lots of contact, no foul. Badgers running the other way now. Brunel drives in, kicks out to an open Hunsaker, and they find its way to Panner, and Badgers are gonna reset here. Jones drives in, goes up with the right hand, and it's up and in. A.J. Jones.
So good hustle by Central Arizona to get back and be able to stop that fast break by the Badgers, but Jones able to find his way inside the paint with an easy right-handed layup, getting the Badgers again on the board.
Simmons' shot is short. Jones is going to get credited with the rebound. 3-4. Badgers looking for their first lead. Jones for 3. He did it on the inside. Can't quite connect on the perimeter. Now he is able to track his own rebound down. The hustle from Jones pays off. Now it's Panner from 3.
And this time Simmons corrals the rebound as that last one. He didn't really hustle to get that last ball, which resulted in Jones coming from behind him and scooping that up. So Simmons making up for his mistake and being a little bit more hustling on that board.
Panner tips the ball over to Jones. Brunel loses control of it, and it's going to go out of bounds. So the defense by the Vaqueros paying off. We got a defensive battle so far through the first 6 minutes of action. Snow College down by a point. We're going to take a quick break and be right back. So here we are in Richfield, Utah, as we got the Vaqueros of Central Arizona taking on the Snow College Badgers. Simmons drives in, has it stripped. Hunsaker is then fouled by Jaquan Johnson.
Good foul right there by Johnson. I knew that he was beat. There was 2 Badgers fast breaking it down the court. So great foul by Johnson, being able to stop the fast break and giving his defense more time to set up on this inbound possession.
And so another timeout's going to be called, and we're going to take a break from talking as well. We'll be back once the game commences. Jones will start the ball off here for the Badgers as they look to get this offense going. Only one basket and a free throw so far for Snow College in the first 6 minutes of the game. The good news for the Badgers is the Vaqueros only have 2 baskets of their own, and there's the second basket as Truman goes up with the right hand.
It's great patience by the Badgers on that last possession, working the ball around and finding Truman in the paint, and Truman takes his man one-on-one. Just a simple step back floater right there as the Badgers are able to sink that shot and take their first lead of the game.
Snow College going with a 3-guard lineup with Jones, Hunsaker, and Rich in the game right now. That shot's missed. Truman with the rebound. Hunsaker is going to push it all the way and find a wide open layup on the right side. He said, if nobody's going to get in my way, I'm just going to take it straight to the hoop.
So Badgers early on looking to control the tempo of this game. Every time they get a defensive rebound, they're looking to push that ball up court, and it worked right there, and that's what they've been doing all game. But credit the defense to the Vaqueros and getting back on defense for the most part. But look at that again.
Ball.
Looking for that fast break, but it just throws it away to Johnson.
3 ball on the way off the backboard, and who's going to get the rebound? There's a battle for it. Truman's going to get it in the end. Shelton still down on the ground looking for an alley-oop to Rich, and it's blocked. They're going to say goaltending though. Jones was looking for Rich, and on the goaltend was Gertz Losdens. Johnson gives to Calvin Johnson Jr. From Tulsa, Oklahoma, Calvin Johnson Jr. And then Riley Panner able to get the rebound. Snow's offense starting to click. The ball goes up ahead to Truman. Rich with the offensive board, and Panner was open for 3, but he finally got the ball out to Jones. Truman not afraid to take the 3 himself at 6'8". Now it's Hunsaker. His ball goes in and out, and it's going to go out of bounds off of Riley Panner. Ball goes back to the Vaqueros. So at first we saw a stagnant offense from Snow College. Now we're not seeing stagnant offense from Central Arizona.
And coming into the game for the Badgers is number 2, Quinn Nielsen. So we'll see what Quinn can do offensively for the Badgers, as the Vaqueros have had a little bit of a scoring drought so far, Jacob. They got out to an early 4-point lead, but since then the Badgers have scored 9 straight. So they're struggling a little bit offensively due to this Badger defense. So let's see what they can do throughout the rest of this first half, as number 13, Isaiah Bellamy right there, is able to get to the rim.
Truman in the corner for 3, money. (12 to 6). The Badgers doubling up the Vaqueros right now. Olivares guarded by Nielsen, able to get past Nielsen, and he can't quite finish the layup. Truman, same spot once again, and he hits it once again. Somebody's got to guard him in that corner, because 2 back-to-back 3s by Truman is going to force Central Arizona to take a timeout, and we're going to take one as well. Snow College leading Central Arizona here in Richfield. 15-16, Badgers leading Central Arizona. Central Arizona is looking for any offense right now. Only 6 points through the first 10 minutes of the game. That shot was airballed by Bellamy. Nielsen gets it down low to Rich. Rich looking to do some damage. Riley Panner open for three, and Panner can't hit again. Panner, we saw he was hot last night, looking almost automatic from three-point range. Now Panner fouls Calvin Johnson on the play. Calvin Johnson Jr. makes the first one. Second one as well is through the net. Into the game checks Nate Allen, the 6'11 sophomore out of Murray, Utah. He's a big boy out on that court, weighing 275 pounds and standing at 6'11". I wouldn't want to get in his way if he's going full speed.
That's a big boy. So ball rolls out of bounds on Central Arizona, so remains Badger possession as A.J. Jones looks to inbound the ball for the Badgers. So Jones looking for a cutting Nielsen on the play, and Central Arizona kicks the ball, so Jones will be baseline again, inbounding the ball, and he'll find Romian Lewis here on the play as they miss it, as there's a scramble for the ball down low as Jones comes up with it, finds Nielsen, tosses it out of bounds, and just poor communication right there offensively for the Badgers, but great hustle nonetheless to retain possession of that ball, as that ball is thrown out of bounds by the Badgers, as the Vaqueros will take possession as Calvin Johnson Jr. brings the ball up court and almost loses it. And great defense thus far by the Badgers as Quinn Nielsen hits the ball out of bounds. So Badgers still sticking defensively with this 2-3 zone as it's been working thus far for the first 12 minutes of this game. And we see the Badgers pushing the ball again as Nielsen steps up for the three, and it rolls around, and Nielsen for his first points of the game, a three-pointer. Badgers 18, Vaqueros 8 by 10. So great job by Mason Rich to find the trailing Nielsen as he kicks it back for the three, and with great block defensively by Nate Allen and Mason Rich down low to keep the Vaqueros from scoring an easy layup. And into the game comes a complete bench shift for the Vaqueros as the Vaqueros empty the bench and substitute 5 players in for the 5 out. So interesting strategy here for the Vaqueros by Trayman Aaron, head coach of Central Arizona. And that will be out of bounds on Central Arizona, so Badger possession. So just over 8 minutes remaining in the first half. Badgers have a 10-point lead as scoring is coming from all players around the court. So good ball movement offensively for all players in the team, as that is Nate Allen with a nice feed into the paint as he gets on the board for the first time tonight. So we talked about him earlier in the game, standing 6'11", so that's really hard defensively to cover a 6'11" man standing down in the paint. So great feed by the Badgers to him as the Vaqueros get on the board, and the three-point opportunity for Gertz Lazdans. So the Vaqueros finally breaking that 10-point marker late into the second half. So Lazdans on the 3-point play able to convert, cutting this Badger lead into 9. Nielsen on the top of the court loses it as he got double coverage right there as he lost it, but unable to convert on the fast break of the Vaqueros, and here come the Badgers. As Zach Hunsaker will get called for the offensive foul. So kind of back and forth scramble plays for both sides of the ball, as the Vaqueros will take possession with just over 7 minutes left in the first half. So Johnson feeds the ball to Shelton. Shelton's working the top of the court. Shelton finds Westbrook and feeds it down to Lazdans as he's unable to convert on that reverse layup. Badger possession.
Riley Panner at the top, gives it to Romaine. Panner still looking to find his stroke tonight, and when the Badgers have Riley Panner going at the 3-point line, their offense can be nearly impossible to stop. Shot clock down to 2 seconds. Panner's just got to chuck it up, but he can't get it off in time, so the defense by Central Arizona once again holds strong, able to force Snow College into a shot clock violation.
And you got to feel good as a defense, being able to hold a team offensively to no shot attempts for 30 seconds. So that's a great morale booster defensively for your team, knowing that, hey, we held them for 30 seconds, we can do it again. So great job by Central Arizona being able to keep this high-powered offense of the Badgers to a shot clock violation.
Simmons for 3, and he drains it. So it looks like the Vaqueros might have a little bit of rhythm going on the offensive end. That brings the lead down to 6 for Snow College.
And you can see how excited Simmons was with that shot. You know that was his first make of the game. Big momentum factor right there, big momentum shift as he helps cut this lead into 6 as the Vaqueros get the ball back. So Simmons feeling pretty good about himself, helping his team get back into this ball game.
Here's the 3 ball for Central Arizona. That's off the mark. Romaine with the rebound, looking to push it up ahead to Panner. Panner gives it down low to Rich. Rich off the glass, and it's in for Mason Rich. 22-14, the Badgers so quick on the fast break. On a rebound, a steal, any way possible, they are looking to push the ball tonight. Not allow that Vaqueros defense to set up, which I think is a smart idea. When they're able to get back there, the Vaqueros have been staunch.
And definitely a smart idea. Make the Vaqueros play your type of basketball. Make them play your momentum as basketball, and make them run up and down the court, which you are physically adapted to, and they may not be that well adapted to that. So,
yeah,
great offensive strategy by Coach Nielsen to run the ball.
Truman missed the 3 there. Almost thrown away. Shelton dribbles in, and he traveled with the basketball. Checking into the game for Central Arizona comes in back in is Calvin Johnson Jr. along with Isaiah Bellamy. Romaine left all alone there on the right wing. Now he gives left to Truman. Panner takes the 3, and he nails it. You can't leave Riley Panner with that much room to get a shot off. And I think Simmons might have just learned his lesson.
I think Simmons realizing that Panter hadn't hit a three-pointer yet in this first half, and so he gave him a little bit of extra room than needed, and so Simmons expects Simmons to play a little bit more tight defense later on throughout this game.
Snow College looking for a stop here, and there's going to be a loose ball foul on the rebound. It will go against Snow College. Looks like Simmons is going to come to the free throw line. Well, first shot up here for Kareem Simmons. Drains it, nothing but the bottom of the net. Kareem Simmons, all the way from Chicago to Arizona to play basketball, the 6'8" sophomore. Makes the second one as well. Hunsaker finding his team with a 9-point lead. Snow College looking to get this back to double digits. And it's thrown out of bounds. Rich was looking for Truman, but a miscommunications between the big guys. And Romaine's going to take a rest. Into the game comes Nate Brunell for Snow College. 3:36 left to play here till the end of the first half. Calvin Johnson Jr. guarded by Hunsaker. He gets the screen, takes the three, and drains it.
Good play right there by Calvin Johnson Jr. to recognize the screen and have confidence in himself to step up and make a big-time play, big-time shot for his team to help cut into this deficit as we are just over 3 minutes left remaining in this first half. And the Badgers threw that ball out of bounds, so the Vaqueros will get another opportunity to cut into this lead right here. And so Vaqueros trying to make a run before halftime, trying to go into halftime with a little bit of momentum.
Yes, this is a big possession for them. If they can get this, keep chipping away at this lead, as it's now down to 4 points with that basket. They got to be feeling pretty good about themselves going to halftime.
And credit Isaiah Bellamy with that point for the Vaqueros, as that cuts the deficit to 4. But Panter has nothing to say about that as he drops a three, extending that lead back up to 7. So Panter back-to-back threes on his shot attempts, so he must be feeling pretty good about himself as he's starting to feel his groove.
Yeah, and then a moving screen was just placed there on Riley Panter, and so that's gonna give the ball back to Snow College, 28-21, just as the Vaqueros were starting to get a little bit of momentum. That big three by Panter, and then the moving screen on the other end, and now there's going to be a foul on Shelton, has given it all back to the Badgers. Jones gives off to Brunell. Truman working inside. Almost stolen away. Central Arizona just getting their hands in there, but they find an open Mason Rich right down underneath the basket, and now it's stolen away by Jones. Chance to push this up to 11, possibly even 12 points. They tried the same play again to Mason Rich. This time, the defense for Central Arizona steals it away. And a foul called. I think they're going to get Brunell on the play for the reach-in. This is going to give Simmons free throws. Number 35, Kareem Simmons. He's going to try to keep this game in single digits for the Vaqueros before going into halftime. Checking in the game for Snow College comes Hunsaker back in. Simmons off the iron on the second one. Hunsaker's not looking for the ball. Luckily, Rich is there for cleanup duty and stolen away again. A little bit of sloppy play going on by the Badgers right now, Ben.
Yeah, so with that, and look at that. Number 11, Calvin Johnson Jr. getting to the rim again, and possibly for a three-point play right here to help cut into this deficit, potentially be down by 5. But like you were saying, Jacob, a little bit of sloppy play right there. We haven't seen much sloppy play from either side of the ball tonight for both teams, but right there, that sloppy play turned into 2 quick points for the Vaqueros and potentially 3 points, as Johnson Jr. will be at the line after this timeout. So we'll take a timeout as well with you, and we'll be back here on Snow TV.
So Calvin Johnson Jr. will look to clean up this 3-point play, and he can't quite convert. So still a 6-point lead for Snow College. Hunsaker looking for a little bit of breathing room. They had an open Romaine down the middle, but they couldn't quite find the ball. And there's going to be a foul called on the play. Zach Hunsaker on a 1-on-1 situation here. Rims that one in. (31-24). Second free throw in as well. Almost to a minute left here in this game. Here in the first half, 32-24. It's been a defensive battle so far, along with some sloppy play on both sides. Going up strong. There was Peter Nolway. Now a chance for Snow College to push this to double digits before halftime. Jones drives in, gets past the first man, and they're going to say he was fouled by Calvin Johnson Jr.
And so with that foul, that will send the Badgers to the free throw line, as Johnson will have a 1-on-1 opportunity to get potentially 2 points and to extend this Badger lead to 10 points. So the lead was at 10 earlier on, 18-8 for the Badgers, but the Vaqueros were able to claw their way back within 5. But Panther hit a couple of big threes, which extended this lead back up to 8, potentially 10, following Jones' free throw attempts.
So there it's up to 9. Quinn Nilsson just checked into the game for the Badgers. Jones makes both those free throws, 34-24. Bellamy gives down low to Simmons, and Simmons is off the mark with the right hand. So now Snow College, shot clock is off. They have the chance to hold this for the last shot. Looks like Jones will get things started. And they fire wide open Mason Rich, and he throws it home. Great job from A.J. Jones in drawing the defense on the drive and knowing where the open man was, which defender came over. Bellamy for three. He's off the mark, and the buzzer's going to sound, and that's going to finish up this first half. Snow College leading 36-24 here in Richfield, Utah. We got a couple Badgers Spotlight of the Weeks coming up for you during halftime, so don't go anywhere. And we'll get those rolling for you, and then we'll be right back for your second half.
Badgers, I'm DJ Harris here with Snow TV, and I am joined by Snow College basketball player Blake Truman. Thanks for joining us today, Blake.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
I just wanted to ask you a few questions. So you've got the season starting up about right now. How do you feel about the year?
We're feeling pretty good right now. We just had a few games, and we got a tournament this weekend. And yeah, our team's looking good. We're playing well together, so I'm excited.
Okay, you just had a tournament in Las Vegas. It was an invitational. Can you tell us a little bit about how that went?
Yeah, so we played an exhibition game, and then we had two real games, and we were able to win all three of them. Played well as a team, and had a fun time out in Vegas.
Okay, awesome. And I just want to learn a little bit about you. Where are you from?
I'm actually from Las Vegas.
Oh, you're from Las Vegas?
Yeah.
Okay, and you played high school basketball down there?
Yeah.
What was your high school?
It's called Arborview High School.
Arborview, okay. And you played, what was your experience in high school, and why did you choose to come to Snow College?
So my senior year of high school, I moved up to Colorado, and I played basketball there, and one of the assistant coaches at Snow was recruiting me, and when I came out to visit, it just seemed like this is where I was already going to go. Mm-hmm. And so I felt like this was the place I needed to be at, and so that's where I decided.
Oh, that's awesome. How have you felt about your experience at Snow so far? You're a sophomore, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I loved it. I've been here for a year already, and it's just an awesome place to play sports, get an education, and to meet new people.
That's awesome. And how do you feel about your role on the basketball team this year? How do you feel you can contribute to the team this year?
I think definitely bringing some experience in because I've played a year already. I kind of know the way that Coach Nielsen likes to run things, and just kind of being able to kind of help my teammates kind of understand the importance of just playing as a team so that we all can win and do good things.
Right. And between your freshman and sophomore years, you served in LDS mission, right?
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about kind of what you learned or how you think you grew on your mission, where you served, and how you think that can help you on the basketball court, but also maybe in your life?
Yeah. So I served my mission in Dallas, Texas, so shout out to all the Texans. Yeah, I mean, you learn so much as a missionary. It's kind of hard to describe it in a few words, but I think definitely the thing is you mature and you learn so much about yourself and how to become an adult and kind of take care of yourself. And so I feel like that is able to help you as a student. You study as a missionary all the time, study here for your education, and then also you learn how to work hard. Missionaries work hard where they should be. And yeah, basketball is hard work, and so there's a lot of things that help. The mission is, for anybody who's thinking about it, they should serve a mission because it helped them in their life.
And you mentioned studying, and I want to ask you about that. So while you're at Snow College, do you have a major in mind or a career field that you are interested in?
I don't have a major that I'm decided on, but I do want to go into optometry eventually. So
can you tell us a little bit about optometry? I think a lot of viewers might not know what that is.
Yeah, optometry is just an eye doctor. So
An eye doctor.
yeah,
Okay.
basic eye checkup is you go to optometrist.
Yeah. Okay, that's cool. And so after Snow College, do you plan on continuing going to play basketball somewhere else, or do you want to maybe just kind of go for school? What's your plans after Snow College?
Yeah, I hope that I play well enough this year to be able to get recruited by some schools and be able to go and play 2 more years somewhere at a school, but we'll see what happens.
Okay. Well, I think this has been great. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
And for all you viewers at home, this has been Blake Truman, center and power forward for Snow College's basketball team, and I'm DJ Harris. Thanks for watching Snow TV. Hey Badgers, I'm DJ Harris with Snow TV, and I'm joined here by Kara Harris, who played left back for the Snow College women's soccer team this year. And thank you so much for being here, Kara. I'm glad you came.
Me too.
And I want to start off by asking you kind of how you feel about your team's overall performance this year, since this was the very first year of Snow College women's soccer and men's soccer. How do you feel about your team this year?
I think we did a really, really good job, especially being a first-year program. We won region, we went undefeated, we won the region tournament, and we played a really, really good game against our last game, Laramie County, and they were ranked 3rd in the nation. So it was a bummer to lose that game. We lost some PKs, but overall I think we did a really, really good job.
Definitely, definitely. And I want to take you back to, you said we were region champions, take you back to the region championship game. That was against Salt Lake Community College. Now, the previous times you played them, you tied every game, hadn't you?
Yeah, every game.
Every single game. And so, I mean, you were the 1 seed, but Slick had to have come in there thinking that they could beat you.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. And I had the opportunity to call that game, and it was very competitive back and forth. But I want to just kind of take me through what happened in overtime when you were kind of pivotal in that game-winning goal. What happened there?
I don't know. I was just I was ready for the game to be over. We had tied them. Let's see, that was our 4th time playing them, so we had tied them 3 times. And I felt like our team really just deserves that win. And so I got the ball and I just saw the space, and I heard my coach from behind me saying, "She's not going to catch you." So I just kept dribbling the ball. And then Cheyenne Jacobs, my forward, she stepped out of the way and just said, "Keep going." So I kept going, and then I saw my player open, and I just crossed it, and I thought we didn't get the goal because it was a swing and a miss first, but then Michaela came and finished it, but that was basically it.
Definitely, and kind of, I mean, it's probably obvious, but can you describe that feeling that you had when that goal finally went in? It was overtime, it was a long-fought game.
Yeah, I was so excited, but mostly just relieved. Yeah, of course I was super hyped, everyone was jumping for joy, but I seriously just felt so much tension, gone, and I was just relaxed and happy.
Yeah, definitely. So obviously that was a highlight of the season. How do you feel about yourself and how you've played for this year and how you've contributed to the team?
I think definitely, as the season went on, that I got better. I came into the season really sick, and so that was kind of frustrating for me, and I felt like I couldn't do my full potential for the team. But as the season went on, I got healthier and I felt stronger and more confident with the way that we played. And so I felt like I was able to be more helpful to my other players.
Okay. And okay, cool. That's great for the year. And I want to get into a little bit about you. Who's Kara? Where are you from, Kara?
I'm from Murray. I went to Murray High School.
Murray High School, yeah. Cool. And did you played soccer for Murray High School?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
What was that like?
It was good. It was a good experience. We kind of came short. So I guess you could say I kind of came into the season with a chip on my shoulder because we were the only team to be Skyline High School in our like region and stuff, and Skyline eventually went and won 4A state championship.
Ooh.
But you know, we choked kind of in the playoffs, and so I guess that kind of like also was my motivation for the run in that slick game. Is just I felt like my team deserved it, and I didn't want to, you know, lose another game that we should have won. So.
Okay.
But overall, I loved Murray. It was a good experience. I was an SBO there, and so I was just involved in all these activities, and I enjoyed it.
So what kind of factored into your decision to come to Snow College?
Well, I have a sister who actually is a sophomore here at Snow, and she, of course, went there last year, and she kind of played a big role in me deciding Snow, and she really enjoyed it, so it was a good example to me. But I think that main reason that I chose to come to Snow was for soccer, the soccer team.
And one of the last things I want to ask you is, while you're at Snow, what are you planning on studying, and what do you want to do after your time here at Snow College?
Well, right now I'm just kind of getting my generals, but what I'm looking into is like nutrition. I think it would be cool to be a dietitian.
Okay.
But the school, right now I'm thinking that I want to go to Utah Valley University, but you know, I've still got a while, and depending on if I change my major, that could all change.
Okay, well that's awesome. Well, thank you, Kara, for coming in today.
Of course, thank you.
This has been Kara Harris, left back for Snow College women's soccer team, and this has been your Player Spotlight. I'm DJ Harris with Snow TV.
And welcome back here in Richfield, Utah, as we get started here in our second half. 36-24, we saw a lot of good defense in the first half, but also a lot of sloppy play, Ben. So we'll see what the second half has to entail. Maybe the offenses will get going a little more just like that, as we see Jaquan Johnson taking it to the hoop.
Yeah, I'd like to see the second half for Central Arizona step inside the arc just a little bit and take closer jump shots, about 15-foot jump shots, and attack the paint a little bit, as they've been shooting a lot of threes in the first half, and not a lot of them have been falling for them. So down 10, yeah, you might need a couple of threes, but I would attack the paint a little bit more and set some screens and be able to just get some closer jump shots. So great defensive series for Central Arizona right there to help them cut into this 10-point deficit.
Once again, we see them forcing Snow College into a bad shot because late in the shot clock they're finding their time is expiring. Foul on the play, that will be called on Truman. That's his third foul. So he might be coming out of the game soon. We'll see what Coach Nielsen decides to do with Truman.
So that might open up the paint just a little bit more for Central Arizona, as Truman is only 2 fouls away from fouling out of this ball game. So maybe if you're the Vaqueros, tack him a little bit and make him use up another foul or make him play weak defense.
Hunsaker for three off the back of the iron. Truman gets up there for the rebound, double team. He needs some help. Can he find anybody? No, it's stolen away. We didn't see many Badgers moving their feet there trying to help him out. And on the other end, Jaquan Johnson turns it into points. It's 36-28.
So far, a good defensive series for Central Arizona, being able to convert on their defensive strength so far. And so good looking news for the Vaqueros so far coming out of the second half.
Down low, Truman with the right hand. It looked good, then it popped out of bounds. It's going to go to Central Arizona. Jaquan Johnson gives to Westbrook. Josiah Westbrook. It's Johnson, kicks out to Simmons, and Simmons drains the jumper. 36-30.
So I'm liking what I'm seeing for Central Arizona so far. Jacob, like I said, like they're attacking the rim, and they're taking a couple of steps within that three-point line and giving themselves closer looks for those jump shots.
Truman with the initial move there, missed the shot, and on cleanup duty all alone on the other side of the basket was Nate Burnell. So good hustle by both players to get the 2 points for the Badgers. Backdoor cut by Johnson. He slices through two defenders and he lays it up and in. Johnson's hot coming out here in the second half.
Yeah, Johnson realizes the importance of getting a hot start starting the second half, because that will definitely set the tone for the rest of this game. And so Central Arizona doing a fantastic job in the first 4 minutes of the start of the second half, really controlling the momentum of this game, keeping the Badgers from getting getting out into the open court on those fast breaks, really controlling the tempo, playing their kind of basketball, as they've had some really easy points down low and doing really well defensively as they find themselves only down by 6.
Ball thrown out of bounds. Miscommunication from the Vaqueros there. Back to Snow College. That was Gertz Losdens. Not able to find his teammate. 38-32. Badgers have seen their 12-point lead skim down to 6. Nate Burnell kicks out to Panner. Panner for three, and he's got it. Third three on the night for Riley Panner. Simmons, top of the key. So to Westbrook. Now it's Johnson again. He kicks out to Westbrook. His shot's off the mark, and there's going to be a loose ball foul. If that's Truman they're going to give it to, that's his 4th foul. The officials are talking it over right now. Nope, they're going to give it to Central Arizona. Giving it to Gertz Losdens. His 2nd foul. He's a little bit upset with the call, but that's what the officials saw. So Riley Panner inbounds the ball to A.J. Jones. On the block is Brunell. He kicks it out to Jones. Jones now back to Brunell. Panner open for 3, but then he saw underneath the hoop was Blake Truman, and he lays it up and in.
And that's just unselfish play right there by Panner. He turns and gives up a good shot for an even better shot for a high potential, a high percentage shot down in the paint. So great unselfish ball right there by the Badgers. And that's just great team chemistry right there. That's what you love to see as a head coach.
Yes, and so on the other end we saw Jaquan Johnson with a layup of his own, again answering the layup by Truman. But as you were saying, that was a beautiful move by Riley Panner, Ben, in the sole fact that he drew 2 defenders out on a 3-point shot when he looked like he was going to attempt it, because he's been hitting them so far tonight. And then that left Truman wide open as we see the steal there by Brunell. So the Snow College defense starting to step up. That's tipped out of bounds off of Shelton. It will stay with Snow College. 24 seconds on the shot clock. On the floor for the Badgers right now, we got Jones, Hunsaker, Brunell, Truman, and Panner making up the start of this 5 on the court, just over 5 minutes into this second half. Panner down to Brunell. Hunsaker on the cut. He wanted the foul on the play. Stolen away, though. No call, and now a foul's going to be called. I think they're going to get A.J. Jones on the reach-in. Yes, they are. Giving it to number 3.
Jones just getting a little too physical on that fast break, trying to get his hand in there to deflect the